Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we will be playing some Esper Control that you probably didn't see lately, with Interceptors, Ertai Resurrected, and of course double Jays to mill those cards. So what can go wrong? Oh, and we are playing counter spells as well. Well, today was a weird day in the arena, and you will see exactly why when you see the game. So we met our arch nemesis without knowing it. So I won't spoil anything, it will be weird, and I hope it will be very, very exciting. So enjoy, guys. If you are unsubscribed, please consider, that helps the channel. And yeah, have a lot of fun. Right, on the draw with counter spells, my favorite start. Let's see. Let's see, going great so far. The first two turns are absolutely deadly for us. Treasure map. Something that one could say I would absolutely love to counter with Make Disappear to prevent 4 extra cards basically, because this is also a land. And now we cannot counter anything. Man, being on the draw sucks. The whole game is extremely different. Normally, if we're actually on the play, we would counter this and this wouldn't matter. Well, wild stuff is happening, that's for sure. Let's force our opponent to... Well, this can be our win con, right? You know what? Let's go for it. If he wants to draw the cards, we will let him. Even though we are on the draw and game is going not how we want, with this kind of pile we should still come ahead later in the game. We will start with the Emperor, of course, for some ossifications, so Jace can do the job. And here, I mean, you definitely probably need the Scry. I just want to point out that I'm considering milling him, and the only reason he put so many cards is that he doesn't want to be milled. So some pure win on my side, man. My strategy is just flawless. So we will try to remedy over next turns and just play the Jace for the cards. Still, you can mill a lot of cards and start doing with another Jace, so it's still viable. Let's go double token. And that should create a lot of pressure. We have Make Disappears and Dissipate, so it won't be as easy for him to answer. Bro, I'm a control major, right? Like, we are serious today, and we have control over the game. And that's a start. I'm not playing Jace, because 4 mana means I have no counter spells, and he's down to 4 cards, even though he has treasure map, so that's good for him. Extremely smart play would be to Field of Ruin my blue mana, because I only have planes. How much do we care about it? You know what? I actually care about it. I will force another one. Even if he has another one, it's still like a lot of mana and 5 damage to the face and some loyalty on the Emperor. Also token kills Emperor very easily. And this way we can make sure that we draw some cards. Alright then. And those cards will be so glorious. 9 lands. Easy. So we are losing on value by drawing wrong cards. If that was Memory Deluge and Memory Deluge, we would never end the value. With triple lands, we kinda wait until we hit something better, basically. And here are the cards. Alright, this is way better than the Sunfall, so I'm still pretty happy. Of course, the treasure that we didn't counter will be a problem. Let's start milling him. I want to get him to 20 cards at some point, maybe not. But having extra cards is important, and we can keep going with the Samurais, right? Then we go Anchorage, we play it now, so we can activate it as soon as possible. We keep Eiganjo, and we keep the March. Those lands are super annoying, but at least we can use the Anchorage, I guess, because we don't mind losing mana at this point. They have Field of Ruin, so it won't matter, but, you know, better than the land still. Yeah, them drawing 3 cards from this is pretty brutal, so I need to start drawing my good cards from the deck. Jace is doing a lot of work, that's why we still have card advantage, but our card advantage is lands, so unless he's drawing equally badly, it's not perfect. Right. Let's take the plains and pretend that we are not scared of another Field of Ruin. But I guess with so many lands we actually don't care. It's probably to get hit by this, then well, that's bad. Our opponent has hit more Cardo in his 200 cards deck than we in our 3 or 4 Memory Deluge, I don't remember, deck. And Silver Scrutiny as well, right? And it keeps going. You would think it ends. Well, so far I'm not super happy with the draw, I'll tell you that. This is extremely bad so far. So we are kinda doing nothing and waiting until the shuffler gives us better cards. Because right now we cannot do anything. Like, not with those cards. And our opponent has Scrying on top of the, you know, Cardo and Cardo, which he got by being on the play. Otherwise he would make Disappear this and all of this wouldn't happen and he would have 3 cards less. So right now the, you know, the chance game is definitely on our opponent's side. We are, you know, getting pretty bad stuff right now. Can we recover? Honestly, one Memory Deluge can recover you fully. If you hit the right card, it just super doesn't matter. You close the game later, but it's still okay. Alright. So we will probably have to hit Farewell at some point. He's definitely going for it. I wonder if that's CGB's version. I really like the idea for the deck. If you didn't see, I really recommend it. It's basically a mono white with unmillable amount of cards. If that's the deck, it was pretty decent. And the only weakness for this deck is that you can be milled. And against another control deck, I mean, you're not losing the library game. So yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. Actually, it's very great idea. So, still dead draws every turn. At some point we really need to start doing better, man. It's as bad as it gets right now. I will risk and try to save Jace because this might be my only value engine for next 15 turns. I still have like few lands in the deck, so we might draw all of them before drawing a single value card. Not looking super hot, I'll tell you that. And he will never whiff with Treasure Cove and Treasure Map. So he actually hit his value engine perfectly, super quickly. I think we need to fight, you know, get him to develop a board, then Sunfall and use the token. I think that's kinda the thing. He drew cards with this, but he didn't draw with this, so he can still draw another one if he plays a creature, and he plays quite a lot of those. In this kind of games is harsh, man. You know that you shouldn't be in this situation, but you are. And you just pray every turn that the card that you will see is not the one you have seen since 4 turns. That's basically the game strategy right now for us. Jace is doing real work, man. I think this drew 2 cards and this will be the 3rd. So we are actually, man, look at those varied draws. Oh boy. I will try to go like this. I will do a card just to make sure that, you know, we get the stuff. Next Jace will... okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is legendary card draw. Alright, that's a good draw. Not Memory Deluge, but second best probably. Soul Partition, sure. Well, unfortunately he can keep trading at very bad ratio. Just because, you know, of the draw that he had. Whenever enters the battlefield, very important. He doesn't have counter spells, so no. Yeah, we are forced to kill him, so we need to be a bit more aggressive. That's why the planeswalkers are super important. Blast Zone is something we need to keep an eye out. 1, 2, 3, 4. What a coincidence. That's exactly 1, 2, 3. Actually, he needs only 3 more counters, right? So he has even some spare mana. And the cards will never end. Man, I wonder how much Cardo he has in this deck. Because he hit 2 out of 4 of his probably best draw cards in the early game. So that's pretty good for him. If we can win this, man, that will be insane. It means that we always win, basically. Alright, so when he casts something, and he probably will, like, he really wants to cast a creature to trigger both of those. I'm a little bit thinking, is there a chance that he ever mills himself with all this cardo? But even with this, like, doing 4 cards a turn, I don't think it will happen. And he will bury us in the value anyway. Sure. So this will be the samurai. Sure. We want to march this, of course, but first we Eiganjo. If he attacks. He does. Nice. We need to take this chance. Especially before he, you know, cashes all the value from the vampire. Well, Tokeshi's Welcome is still, you know, a little bit frustrating for us because it's really good card in this situation. But hopefully you can make it happen. 3-6. Okay, I can kill the Emperor. I can kill the Emperor, and this doesn't give a creature yet. He can craft with artifact. So let's go for 6. This is one of the reasons we like our Black March. It also makes us super hard to kill, but you know, he didn't even try so far, so I'm not sure the game will revolve around this. Let's make him make Disappear token. And the next -2 will draw 3 cards. That's huge. Mido. Oh boy. Is there anything else we want to play right now? I don't think so. I think we need the instant speed stuff. Yeah, this turn he will definitely draw some cards. And he cannot use Blast Zone, so we might, you know, get the Jace value before he blows everything up. The card hurts, man. Man, the fact that he's every single turn since the start of the game basically drawing extra cards is so hurtful, because at this stage of the game we should be at huge card advantage, because we have Make Disappear and blue with Cardo and he doesn't. Well, but what happened is that he got Colorless Cardo and all this Tokeshi's Welcome stuff, and we only got Quick Stud during the whole game. So he's actually ahead in the matchup where he should be behind. So you can already see, man, he's burning through this library. And with so many cards, he can just flood with value and just keep playing. Yeah, like cards for a token, easy. Very good trade for him at this point. So we need to start getting better stuff. The Sunfall token will be very useful. 1, 2, 3. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think he wants to kill Planeswalkers. But there is a chance we can go around it. Ashiok is very interesting, especially for a while. I really want to play Ashiok, man. So this turn is pretty intense. We want to Sunfall and then also Otawara. But he won't do it, right? He will put the thing and give us the turn. Alright, so that means I need to +1. Otherwise, he won't do it main phase. So I think that's the play. Put a counter. Well, yeah. I'm not activating the Sunfall token, I think. I want to keep it as, you know, the surprise card. And we still have Otawara, right? We have enough. I could go Ashiok, but then I cannot save Jace, and I really want to. Like, this will draw me potentially 6 cards. Oh, he's going with the Mire explant. That's interesting. I guess he needs more cards. Oh boy, it's getting ridiculous. I really thought that he will go with the Blast Zone. Like, all of my Planeswalkers are 4 mana. Isn't that optimal? I really expected that play. Especially that his hand is full, so I didn't think he needs this 1 extra card so heavily. And we didn't answer the Welcome in any of the previous turns, so he should know that there's probably space. And there's low chance that I will do it on this turn. We have the token, that's very cool. He cannot use the Blast Zone on this turn then. And that means 3 cards for me. I mean, I'm really trying to mill him. I'm really trying. They probably want to keep it as a token, to be honest. Yep, draw those cards. But he will discard, so, you know, it's good quality improvement. Okay, this might finally maybe do it. Alright, please give me those cards. I really need to start getting good stuff right now. Alright, way better. Finally, we can do stuff. Do I want to Sunfall this one? Probably not yet. Probably not yet.
Guards, to me.
So for he can go up to Ashiok mana, so maybe let's not do it right now. I could bounce the Jace right now, but I still get the same amount of cards, right? So I probably try to target to Kesha's Welcome in this situation, just because it's really, really annoying, and I hope I don't get punished with some Eternal Wonder. He can use Mirex, of course, and he probably will with the Sunken Citadel. Alright. What can you do, man? What can you do? This guy is just drawing like madman. Why would you need blue for this? Oh boy, I really want to beat him. I really want to beat him, and I think we have a shot, but this will be so hard with early game we had. Like, instead of being so super ahead and being, like, you know, having more cards than him and trying to, you know... Oh, I actually was talking, I just clicked triggers. I didn't even notice what was going on. I can make disappear that and get rid of the Virtue, and I think that's a good idea. That will make every single token super annoying. And if he casts something super big, we have the Interceptor, right? And we can cycle the shores. I actually didn't pay attention of what he was doing. Alright, so we want to get a lot of creatures in the board. Sure. You got it. Good deal, good deal. And in the end, he has 6 cards, man. If he doesn't have anything else, man, he's really serious about the Emperor, huh? We have a lot of, you know, Emperors, so I think that's fine. I will still go for the board. We kill this. Eiganjo. A Smite. It's after the blockers. I mean, I could just save the Emperor, right? But is Emperor better or Jace? I honestly don't know, man. I truly don't know. We have a lot. I think we use Ashiok for this. Maybe we need to farewell something super expensive and just ultimate this. I don't know. We will see. Flames. Look, he's down to 4 cards in single turn because his cards are pretty low value. He just spams them because he draws 3 a turn. So yeah, I think if we can... Maybe I should bounce Jace, I'm not sure. Man, Otawara is insane card. Let's start with the Sunfall. There will be a Mirex token, but it's not enough to kill Jace for sure. I still think we need more lands. Potentially. Potentially, that's the keyword. A 4/4 token is pretty good. So if I play Ashiok, I cannot protect it. So we probably keep up the Interceptor, Smite, and the token. And Otawara, of course. Man, like I milled already 30 cards. And it's not even close. Yeah, I don't think there is any chance. Even if we get Jace, and another Jace, and then Otawara Jace, and play Jace, I don't think that's enough. So we will have to kill him. I honestly try to rank him out of cards. I think that's how we win. That's why the double treasure map into the Tokesha's welcome, into welcoming vampire is such a problem. Because the best way to shut them down is just to make sure they don't have cards to play. And then, you know, you overwhelm them because you have card advantage. And he's back to 7 cards again. This deck just has insane card though. So they definitely have something. Let's force them to use it. And we still have the counter spell mana, so it's okay. And probably Smite, right? Or nothing? Or lay down arms? Celestus. Alright, that's not something we'll care about. I want to use Interceptor when he is least prepared for it. Do I want more cards? Or do I want Ashiok? Ashiok is super good. But I want card advantage, man. I want card advantage. Also, hitting Farewell might be insanely huge, and Jace really helps with this. Easy. It's not for now, though. I don't think that's for now. Everything will be... I really need to start being a bit aggressive. Alright, that's fine. Another artifact. We need to get him to 0 cards, then we farewell. That's the game plan. He will have Mirex, which is annoying. We can kinda protect it. 3 cards should be enough, I hope. Let's keep milling. Let's keep milling. And of course we don't mill ourselves because we will be the one milled. I mean, those are good cards. Finally, we got good cards. I think Make Disappear is unfortunately the weakest one right now. It still could be useful, but I don't think compared to the other cards it's better. Very careful taps. Sure. Mirex will be such a problem. So for Mirex we probably need Ashiok, you know, thingies, so they can grow and try to contest all those tokens. It will be harsh. Let's see how they allocate the damage. Oh, everything! Alright, I respect that. It's probably a decent play. I don't want to exile the graveyards, I think. On the bright side, he invested a lot, so we didn't get a single poison, counter. Let's get some cards. We need some very meaningful cards. Well, you can see where all the value was stacked, man. It was here. I see, I see. Well, we have a lot. Unfortunately, this will be the planes. I shouldn't click it, but he knows what he's doing, so it will be. I don't think it's farewell moment yet. I think this is Sunfall moment. We need way more mana than we have right now. Oh right, I need to discard something I don't want to. Smite is good. Honestly, maybe it's Interceptor. It seems long overdue. This is important decision. I will go with the March. It's a great card. We'll try to play Interceptor into the board, even if it's not perfect. And we still have this. This is our win con. We need to use it to win the game. And here we go. I guess I can use March here. Not the worst. This way we don't need to discard, so I'll take it. And we still have all the mana, right? That's fine. Alright, 29. 5 cards. We just need him to stop. Oh no, I didn't remember that. I should do it at the upkeep then. That was a huge mistake. I gave him a free card. Alright, let's see. It so bothers me. Like he's drawing so much and he will never get milled. Oh, CGB, the forbidden strategy. Alright. The only weakness for Mono White. You can see how hard it is to kill them, but to be fair, our early game was definitely not where we wanted. Also, we had some nice counter spells, and I don't think we used them to full extent, because we kinda had to use them on a, you know, whatever, just to stay in the game, basically. Alright, it's their turn. So what are they doing right now? Oh, right, they crafting with the artifact. That's fine, right? It's just some gnomes. I could counter it, by the way, but I will leave it for something better. And I also have a 4/4, so, you know, it's not the biggest deal. We just start the game, basically. And I actually will go for it. Do I draw a card? I kinda have to, right? So let's go with it. You know, it's a 4/2. Creates some pressure. Not too much though. Man, I'm not doing great job at Celestus triggers. I actually forgot about this card because in my mind it doesn't exist. It's already farewelled. Man, please mill. That's my whole strategy, bro. Alright. So we ain't milling this guy. I think this is the time to go with Ashiok. We need to start setting it up. And let's get some blockers. We have Ertai, we have a token, and we have Memory Deluge. I can kill one blocking creature, but not two. Alright, I want to protect Ashiok on this particular turn and try to slowly get the advantage. This is what we should be doing on like turn 5 to 7 instead of, you know, turn 25 to 30. And the library is very scary right now for us. So I'm not sure if we can win this, but I think there's like legit line of play, even though it's way too late and, you know, it should be way earlier. Okay, night time. I played a one creature, I believe. A problem is also double Mirex, because he was so ahead after the early game that now he can just, you know, keep trading 2 cards. And let's activate it. Definitely something we want to use right now. Alright. Yeah, poison stuff should be strong anyway. And we smite this one. So this way we protect our Planeswalker. And we go from there. That's fine. Smite Wars. So he will probably double cast this turn, so the Celestus will trigger again. Still, we got some decent trades and we protected the Planeswalker. Hopefully he plays more cards into the board. I really need to get him out of those 5 cards, man. Because they are strong. I have Memory Deluge, so I can recoup some of the value. That's okay. The board is still not super scary, it will be worse later. Yep, enjoy your cards, and he can cycle it, so that's, yeah, he clicked Celestus, he knows. Can you believe that during the whole game he never went below 4 cards without blue? That's insane. But it's not the draw that he will always get. Double treasure map on the opening is something he should not be expecting here. But, well, he got it. Sunfall is great. Is that quick study? I think it's... No, we are not milling our cards for sure. What is the stuff in my graveyard? Jace? Not really. Alright, let's go like this then. cards might be useful anyway. Yep, back to 5 cards. Man, this is a slog. This is so hard, man. For all the wrong reasons. And it feels like the game is slipping away because our opponent, like we set up a trap and he's not taking it. And I really wanted him to take it. How do you work? If a card... I mean, this is a card. Let's go. We need to pretend that we don't have this farewell. And then we go for some blockers. We have the Reef as well, so it should hopefully be enough. 18 cards. Yep, they grow. That's good. That's the part of the strategy. Not the biggest deal because those spam them, but it helps a little bit. I actually didn't draw an early any Emperors, but we play less, right? That's why it feels weird. Alright, let's see. More Mirex. More Mire. Oh, he has Field of Ruin. I kinda messed it. So the Reef won't really come into play too much. Unless we Ertai Resurrected it. Which I don't think is worth it. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I think I will activate using this mana. And he's really careful with the taps. He has mana for everything, so I don't think it matters too much. Let's go for whatever mana. And let's activate it. I don't need to do it in response, but I don't mind any kind of sorcery spell. Sorcery speed. Yep, we decline. I should check the library. Okay, I've seen some of them. Normally I would already just win the game by playing Jason, meeting him, but unfortunately the hard counter to our win-con is here with insanely good opening. So it's a true test for the deck, man. If we can try to win this, if we can win this, that means we can win most of the other games as well. At least against this kind of value piles. Alright, here comes the Mirex. The stats make it harder because we cannot trade, but I really wait until he commits more to the board. I really want him to be a little bit less smart about it and just overcommit. Because right now he's back to 6 cards, man. Craft Daredevil. He is not using anything from his hand. Just getting free stuff. Alright, that's still 3 creatures, so we can survive this. I can also cast Memory Deluge and try to hit some good cards. Alright, this has summoning. I always, man, this always gets me. The summoning sickness. Yeah, I can absolutely relate to my friend. I do exactly the same thing always. Alright, let's see if that's a removal. They have less sorceries, instant speed than normal control decks, so very often you get away with this. Alright, a land. Only 130 cards in the deck. Oh boy. And back to 5 cards. Do you believe it's mono white? How did they draw so much cardo in 200 card pile? That's insane. We have another Memory Deluge, so I think we'll just go with Ertai. Enjoy your 6th card. Well, I could, you know, fight this for a very long time, but the problem is my library is smaller. Do we really have to use it already? I really don't want to. Let's burn one of the cards. It's definitely not scary. Wow, Silver Scrutiny, thank you. Thank you for being here. Oh, the 1 Silver Scrutiny to draw cards in the mid-game. Here it is, here it is. We cannot just go for the throat. You know what? I'm going with Jace, man. I don't know what I will do with Jace, but I will definitely do something with Jace. We can use Ember on the thingy. And Ertai on anything else. And this is a 3-3. Man, can I really hope to kill him ever? He can also block with the vehicle, so not really here. More 3-3 tokens. Love it. I guess we could give first strike to our thing, so we can get a free trade. Maybe that's not bad. But then it will be hard to kill this unless we use Ertai and give them more. Man, I could mill him for like 70-80 cards easily, but not for 200. Come on, like what kind of matchup it is? Alright, so what is our opponent doing? Probably trying to kill Ashiok, right? That's what he kinda does all the time. And I think we tried. And exile with the Emperor. If he's not overextending the board, we'll try to force him into, you know, playing more stuff. If he's lowballing, we are as well. And Jace can keep pumping. I mean, we just need 40 loyalty and we mill him, so easy peasy. Just 34 turns of plussing. What's going on? Here's ossification. Let's start. That should give him, you know, a little bit of pressure. Not too much. But he didn't play ossification before. He has 3 in 130 cards, so very likely that he doesn't have it. I'm drawing cards, alright. It's not insanely good for him, but it kinda does the job, right? Guys, like, I'm losing on the mill side anyway. Yeah, what? What? How did I win this? Oh my god, this was the weirdest game. You know what? I had, but I don't want to play it again. It's just how it is, right? Bro, please go away. Nobody likes your butts. You can take a pick, but don't take anything, alright? That's the deal. You can take a pick. Perfect. And not the best draw of the year, but what can you do? Probably they somehow usually have double butt, but okay, that was unintentional pun. But butt usually goes in pairs. We will see if that's the case. My commentary is so horrible sometimes. Preacher. Alright. That will be interesting. He cannot really attack with it, right? Hopefully. Hopefully. And if he casts something else, he knows about Interceptor, and it can be 4 power, so it can trade. I can pay myself in combat phase, which will be interesting. Yeah, this is a very interesting situation. Like, we're both kinda a little bit hostage. So how do you work? If he has the most life, so if I pain myself right now, I prevent the thing. Alright. That was bad. That was bad. I couldn't do it, right? I don't think I had a moment to do what I wanted to do. Alright. I got punished for my bad plays. We'll be smarter later. So what I wanted to do is just pay myself and still play the Emperor. So I guess I should play the Emperor anyway. He knows about her. So not perfect. Now I cannot use Interceptor. I cannot use Smite because it does nothing, and I cannot use Emperor. So I basically wasted at full turn. Yep, and that was the reason. Like, I expected Shelly to happen, unfortunately. The game is not yet over. but I did everything I could to make it over. And they will definitely attack with the Preacher, right? This one will be interesting. We will go like this. Unfortunately, the bat gave him so much information that it's crazy. But on the bright side, now he knows if he attacks with Shelly, this gets exiled. Maybe he has another one, or a bat. So we will see, we will see. He doesn't know about Smite and Memory Deluge. Man, what an awkward game I created. I wanted just a normal game, man, but I just had to make it weird. We will see, we'll see. Definitely we're under a lot of pressure. Okay, so he's going for the slow play. He doesn't know about the Smite, so the Dread Knight is... like, he thinks it's better than it is. And that might be good. Face. Very interesting. Is that good? It must be, right? Yeah, he doesn't know about the Smite. Alright, let's try. Let's try and see what happens. Because, oh boy, I'm killing shorted when I can. Those interceptors, after such a mistake that I've done, are definitely a bit worse.
I am almost sad.
It's very hard to play them when you missed full turn already. For no reason especially. So I can kill Glissa, and she is the most annoying part, but it will be hard to just, you know, go around stuff, especially that he knows about Interceptor, so he will play something super cheap like a Dread Knight, and if you bounce it to the hand, he gets extra value, so he will keep playing those when he expects Interceptor. So not extremely good for us, but we have Deluge and Smite, and those are really nice cards. Interceptor might be, well, it would be great here. They cannot use the bat though. Yep, and this is what happens when he didn't bat my hand, and suddenly he doesn't know what I have. You can see the difference instantly. I want to keep the Emperor. She is pretty good. Yeah, if he didn't know about Interceptor, he would definitely, like, at some point play into it. But unfortunately. Here's the bat. I think he will take Memory Deluge, but in this case we can march it. I'll take it. He can go for the Cottage, which is a little bit of a problem, but I can trade Interceptor into it. You don't always need to counter spells, you can just play it as a lifelinker with 4-2. It's still good. It's still good. If he doesn't take March, that means I get whatever he took with the bat, right? So it's a very hard decision for him. He can tempo me, but that's the main value. Not really like, you know, getting rid of my stuff. Like the stuff will come back. Alright, and he's going for it. Let's see if he uses Cottage. Or he goes for, like, you know, later gameplay with some value cards. He's going for it. Yeah, I think we'll just keep trading the Interceptors. It's worth it at this point. And he still sees my whole hand. Yeah, with Interceptor I can also cycle one of the cards. Not sure which one, but we'll try. Well, ain't that a card? It's also lifelink, so that helps with all the pressure. Alright, alright. You know what? That's not bad. So I want to keep the March in case he, you know, goes for the Cottage, and then he goes for the Dread Knight and something else. So I'm going like this. And like he knows that if he doesn't do anything, I just march the bat and cast Memory Deluge at dance step, so I'm getting extremely ahead. Yeah, I think we're starting to close. I tell you, man, they come in pairs, but This one is a triplet. The bat no, is that? Oh, it came back from Geek's comment, right? Well then. My friend, you will have an impossible choice. Either you take a Sunfall, so you don't lose both of the bats, but then I march it. Alright, Sorcerer Speed. And what? What is the plan here? Oh, Cottage. Cottage makes sense. And that will be the Emperor, right? I honestly think we need to give up the Emperor at this point. We will get extra value, right? Huh. You know what? That's an interesting one, because he's offering free trade. If I pay only 2 life, I get my card. I kinda get it anyway, right? And I won't have mana to cast it on this turn. So not getting any real value. Alright, you got me. As long as we cast Sunfall, and we do, it's fine. This will be a problem, so we need to play around it. But we are getting our cards, so that's what matters. And thanks to the lifelink, instead of being at 8 and nearly dying to the Cottage, we are kinda okay. Especially with the March. We have all our value cards, we just need to try not to die for like 2 or 3 turns. Alright, not scared at all. Absolutely. Honk for some bravery, because oh boy, we're under siege. And still, I missed a very crucial turn with this misplay with the Emperor, and I think that makes a huge difference. Like, if I was 1 turn ahead with everything, that would help so much. So I really hope that he doesn't have like power plays right now. Probably attack and the Dread Knight, right? That seems to be, from what we see, the most obvious play. But it shouldn't work when he sees the March. And 2 bats are exiled, so it will be very hard to draw more. We need to be careful with Memory Deluge, I guess. Man, the difference between being on 8 and 4 is pretty huge. So I'm happy we had the Interceptor at that point. It also connived, so it helped our draw a little bit. Even after he saw it. Well, that's a Cottage. Alright, land is actually a very good draw. Alright, I'll take it. 2 cards to win them all. He isn't sure that we might have, for example, Emperor or something like this. We have the mana for the Emperor. So he needs to be very careful, and if he activates the Cottage, he can only use 1, and we kill it with March and he knows it. So it's not looking great. He needs some better cards into the board. So he will play something threatening, probably. But then he probably cannot use Cottage. Well, land definitely not the most threatening stuff. Alright. Let's see how he attacks. That should be full swing, probably. Alright, alright. I will go with this. This basically negates the Dread Knight. So he wanted to force us to block the Dread Knight, then he plays the Adventure, and then he plays Dread Knight. So we didn't really gain anything, we lost the token, and he has the same stuff in the board. So just life gaining 2 more is basically better. At least that's how I see it. And then we can do it later, when on the next turn he probably wants better plays than this. Not sure if he has 4 mana play here. Memory Deluge goes around Charlotte, but that's a lot of damage. This is, man, this is really good draw, honestly. We need mana. We just need some time. I mean, we could use a lot here, but I think we passed the turn. I want to cast Memory Deluge, but I don't want to main phase it because it can be exiled with Cottage. And I also want to threaten the block, and I also want to threaten that I have something else, so yeah, we probably really want to be reactive, because this is nearly the most important turn of the game. And he seems to be lacking pressure. It might be double removal in his hand. Alright, so first we take the attack trigger. Man, this for a lifelink was so huge. He also cannot kill this with like a Virtue of Persistence. Oh boy. Awkward. Very awkward. Alright then. So he will pay this mana and kill this. I was thinking about hitting Make Disappear, but then I lose Memory Deluge and I'm not sure if that's worth it. Oh! Did he pay too much? He should pay 1 mana. And I think he paid 2. Well, that's a huge blunder. Comparable to my blunder from before. Well, that makes a huge difference. We have 4 mana, so we can play the Emperor if we hit her. Farewell, I mean, those are pretty cool cards, man. Let's draw some cards, shall we? And Smite is good because Go for the Throat goes here. And then we can try to draw more. Perfect, this is what we want. And I think he will activate the cottage because he will feel under absolute siege. And then we kill it and then he concedes. Because he wants to hit this Memory Deluge while he can. Yeah, I think that might be a scoop after we kill this. Because unless he hits Charlotte. If he hits Charlotte, he just activates this, loses it, then plays Shaw and, just gambles that it's enough to win the game. Then we farewell and he scoops anyway. So it's looking great actually. Somehow, after my huge misplay, our opponent had some misplay, but I don't think it was like insanely huge, right? I don't think it would change that we win right now. And I actually think he drew like 3 lands in a row, so that definitely doesn't help him. Alright, and while normally we do it later, and now we will do it in the combat phase, so... But you still wait. No, you go to combat phase. So when there's the trigger, go to combat phase, then you kill it. This way they cannot use the mana for sorcery speed like creatures and spells. Bro? Okay, good. I got scared for a second there. And that should be it, honestly. They lost the pressure. Now we have Memory Deluge and Jace in the board, so how can they compete with a 0-3 with this and 1 card? Probably go for the Throat. My turn. A Sunfall. A wild Sunfall appears. So right now we use this, even though we risk hitting Edict, because I want to Memory Deluge. So I don't want to Sunfall to protect Jace. Also, if he draws a creature, he has to play it. Yeah, like, life gain won't help you, my friend. If he has any kind of bargain, which he probably doesn't have, it might be better to leave those tokens, because the life gain literally won't make any difference this game. So it's like, having 0 cards or 1 card. That is super extremely bad, basically. Yep. And when we cast this Memory Deluge, we should be very easy to stabilize this game fully. Yep. So, we kinda navigated it. It wasn't the most standard game, but as close as we could today. It's a little bit better when you can actually counter your opponent's spells because you have the mana, but we'll try it this way. Now, if they play the 1-drop... Alright, this is actually really good. They wanted to copy it, right? Or it's only enchantment? Only enchantment? And this site is a bad, so okay, never mind. Scrap that. Let's play the Anchorage, this is a good turn to do it. If they play a dog, we will kill the Weaver so they don't get the card doubling. 2 damage is fine. I want to see what they have for us. Really? Alright then. And yes, I'm playing it a bit differently, but I don't mind it. They don't really have haste stuff, we have Sunfall. I'll go for it. That means clear board. I'm doing it because he might be smart about it. This is the Emperor turn and he might not attack and just play the dog or something. Even though he will exile 1 of the cards, I'm not sure if I mind at this point. He has no board, so he cannot flip the battle. Sure, Like, he has 2 cards and he did 2 damage.
Until next time, then.
It looks good from his side, but it's not good for him. And we'll show it. We will prove it. And let's start drawing some cards. Extra cards are really nice, especially if you can draw 2 cards over 2 turns. Even with Ossification, man, at some point we are getting it, and Otawara can already draw a card. Like, you can see he's removing stuff and he knows that it doesn't matter because he has no pressure in the board, and we still have Sunfall. Alright, finally on the play with wrong mana. You gotta love it. Let's try, because we just need 1 blue mana, and I'm sure we'll draw it. And to just stabilize everything, right? With Jace we can draw extra cards. Gingerbrute. Alright. Easy, never draw blue. I just want a normal draw. Just give me a normal draw of magic, please. Let's see. If he pumps it. Alright. Alright. I'm not going for go for the throat, even though it cannot hit this. Well, man, my draws... Man, I'm really bad at magic. Like, I don't know how to draw cards at all. Like, I have all the wrong mana and I'm drawing literally the worst removal in the deck for this kind of stuff. I did the decision seeing 1 go for the throat. Having 2 is really bad, but we are kinda lucky that our opponent keeps playing non-artifact spells. And it might not help us because we aren't able to play our stuff. 1/6 of the deck. Yeah. I mean, I will keep removing stuff because that's the only thing I'm doing. Cool. I mean, he thinks I have perfect draw, while I have insanely bad draw. Oh my god, also the most expensive stuff in the deck. Man, I'm face palming right now. What's going on? What is actually going on here, man? Hopefully we start the game for a million turns and we play farewell at some point, because at this point I don't know what else we can do. Man, this is insanely weird day on the arena for me. Those games, every single game is just out of this world for some reason. And that was really huge. Oh my god, a blue mana? Are you serious? Man, the best draw of the game. The one draw that actually mattered. It not only gets us ahead in the Sunfall, but it's also a blue mana. A single one, so Jace not as easy to play. Enjoy, my friend, because I have no spells that I can cast. Let's see. That really hurt. He really needed this. But what can you do? What can you do? Alright, I need to go like... Oh, that's not perfect. Still, I will try with the Jace plan. That was a weird pause, but it's probably just Ginger, right? Let's go like this. If they have another ninja, they can attack, just, bounce it, so they still get the card, but they need exactly another ninja, and we already killed 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, 3. Alright, Disruptor, he can tap my Jace or a mana. And that's a weird attack, because... Alright. Alright. But he needs to deal damage to a player. And he's not attacking anyone with this. That's weird. Right? He lost the card. And he didn't replay it, so I think he must have some counter spell, I guess. In which case we probably go like this. Man, games today are absolutely something else. But I'll take them. I'll take them. I'll try to play a single normal game, so guys at least know what the deck does. We have the Anchorage, so it's not as easy to attack, but he probably will anyway, right? Yeah, okay, he cannot attack, so he lost. He could attack with Gingerbrute, right? It has this haste thing. But I mean, alright, I'll take the win, man. I'll take the win at this point. Alright, guys, and you know what? I think you had me enough talking for today, so we'll make this outro super quick. I will tell you what I liked and what I didn't like. I didn't like that my opponent had 200 cards in the library. That kinda defeats the purpose of my Jace plan, and we really go into this meal plan with first 3 for Jace and maybe even Ashiok if you go to -7. What about Interceptor? Man, it's super hard to use it. I cannot evaluate it fully because I actually misplayed like 2 times seriously, and also we were mostly on the draw. This is the card that really shines on the play because you can hit very nicely while stabilizing the board, but even in those worst circumstances, it was helpful very often, and this lifelink makes a huge difference. However, if you like, this is probably not the card that you really want if you want to be the most competitive version. I liked Ertai. One of the ideas for the deck was that when we meet Atraxa, Ertai Resurrected is one of the few counter spells that can actually like fully negate Atraxa. And believe me, they don't play 7-drop to draw 1 card. They play it to draw 5 of them. So you can counter Atraxa with this one, and on all of the other matchups, this is still good. So that was one of the ideas. All of those cards go against, the caves. So like this doesn't counter spell. It just puts it back into the owner's hand, alright? Nothing to do with countering. And Ertai just works differently because its activated ability, creature isn't countered itself. So that was the idea. I couldn't decide on Ertai and Interceptor. In all honesty, probably you should go like this and get some more value in the deck. Maybe one more Deluge, not sure. Silver Scrutiny didn't come into play. I honestly think the draws today were very off, so it's hard to make an educated guess, but it feels that we might need some more value. Interceptor was a nice addition and fun one. That's a card that I really like, but it's probably not the most competitive. However, Ertai can battle Atraxa very nicely, so I will still test this version. I think it could be nice. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, tell me in the comments. I'm really curious what you are thinking about the games. I was a bit hesitant to include this insane long game, but I think that's why we watch Magic, right? To see games that are interesting, unique, and things went wrong and right in the different directions. So, hopefully you enjoyed, and see you tomorrow.